Language and speech.
There we are.
Councillor Haley has started the recording.
Thank you, Councillor Hurley. We appreciate that.
Okay, if it's the recording started then, Chair.
Okay, welcome everyone to the South West Corporate Joint Committee Economic Wellbeing and Regional Economic Development Subcommittee, snappy title. We'll go to the welcome and Chair's announcements first, just to remind everybody Welsh translation is available. The meeting will be recorded. If you could keep your yourselves on mute when not speaking, and obviously use your virtual hands if you want to come in on any item. There will also be a new framework work programme created and populated with the new meeting dates for 24-25 civic year, and that'll be distributed in due course. So with that, we'll move to declarations of interest. Are there any declarations to be made today for any items on the agenda?
I see no indication, Chair.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move then to the minutes of the previous meeting, pages 3 to 12 in your agenda. Could I ask for somebody to move them, as I wasn't at that meeting? Is there anybody here who was in attendance happy to move and second?
I'll just go to the councillors who were present. So we had Councillor Hurley was present and Councillor Robert Francis Davis was present.
Okay, could I ask if one of you... Thank you very much, Councillor Hurley. Councillor Francis Davis, you happy to second? Thank you very much.
Those meetings have been approved, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll move then to a substantive item for today, which is the delivery update of the Shared Prosperity Fund. And we have Jason Jones and Paul Relf with us to go through the report. So I don't know who wishes to lead on the item. Paul, I can see you. I can't see Jason unless he's on a different screen.
I'm here, Chair, but I'm happy for Paul as the author to present the report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Paul, over to you.
Thank you, Chair. So the report I provided is just, in a large part, it's a reminder of the structure of the programme that we've established over the past 12 months in the region and its strategic alignment against our economic delivery plan and the nature of the delivery, particularly that it's structured around a series of backbone anchor projects which house grant schemes, as well as then some standalone projects that wrap around that delivery. Total budget approximately 130 million of core SPF, 140 including the multiply figure. The delivery of the programme broadly, due to late approval by Welsh Government, the Regional Investment Plan, has taken some time to establish, it's fair to say, and I deliberately haven't included figures as yet because we've got a claim period currently in progress. Claims are coming in from across the region to ourselves at the moment, which I'm expecting to show a considerable increase in spend and output activity compared to previous quarters. We certainly reached in the region of an £8 million spend to Christmas time as projects have been getting up to speed and recruitment and everything else. But that has been accelerating over the last 3 months, and there's some sizable claims due to come in. One thing I particularly did want to highlight at this point in the programme as well is we're kind of in that sort of Damocles moment where previous programmes there have been requests for extensions which, although they've been denied until quite late on, suddenly then get granted, and it looks likely that the same thing will happen with this programme. So whilst there is quite a hill to climb in terms of spend, bearing in mind there are capital projects within that figure, there are grant awards to businesses which get paid once the grant is complete, not during delivery. Spend does tend to be back-ended, and the bulk of the spend in this programme is concentrated on what is currently year 3, even though we've actually only been able to be delivering for the past 12 months. So 1 year of the programme was effectively not there for us to be working to. So there's going to be a decision needed over the next 2 months or so, subject to what the spend figures I get this week are, as to whether we have to rush to spend the money by December. or whether we get the option to extend possibly by a further 2 quarters. The working figure is approximately we would be in a position, based on the time lag for getting the programme up and running, for the most part, 2 quarters would enable full spend, but we do have the flexibility within the programme, I guess, which is one of its benefits, that if we are held to a December deadline for delivery and a March deadline for closure of the programme, that if we needed to, within the region, divert funds to other strategically aligned activities, it is in your gift to make those decisions. The only thing we can't do is move money between local allocations. That the local allocations are fixed per local authority. One thing I would say, though, is that broadly speaking, the feedback I get from the partner authorities is that where the funding is sitting, broadly speaking, across the different themes and priorities of the programme, is balanced. It's broadly in the right place. Some movements being made between communities and business themes where necessary, and that local flexibility does exist to enable that to be accommodated. In some cases, new grant schemes are being formulated. Certainly, Talbot and ourselves have been looking at sort of IP type related grants for new innovations to go alongside the menu of other grant options available. But broadly speaking, the programme is being received well, is what I'm being informed by partners. Certainly in the FE and HE sector, there is support being provided there as well. And broadly speaking, the programme is where I'd want it to be. Spend is always the challenge with this type of programme, but all the mechanisms are in place to enable that to be happening effectively and timely. And as I said, would like to have presented figures to the meeting now, but given timescales with Easter and everything else, I didn't want to present you with something half-baked and presenting the programme in the wrong light. So I will, within the next 2 weeks, be able to present you with a full exact summary for the whole region, showing exactly where we are on spend and the scattering of the bigger outputs that the region is achieving. But to assure that the systems are in place to capture all that information, we're just in the process of receiving the claims at the time of the meeting, which is unfortunate. But broadly speaking, and I'm sure you're experiencing at local level as well, the amount of positive PR that the programme is generating. I think probably 2 or 3 times a week there's some form of press release going out at local level indicating another grant award to a business or some other positive activity going on generally. I didn't want to follow through the report line by line because I'm sure you've read it, and I'm sure there will be questions, which I'm happy to take.
Thank you, Paul. Very, very helpful update. And yeah, we look forward to obviously receiving those figures in a couple of weeks' time. Just to say on the timing issue, you'll know that I've written in my WLGA role to UK government asking for flexibility on the dates. And whilst we're getting, I guess, some warm reactions from civil servants and others, we still haven't had that full commitment that we're looking for. And likewise, similarly on the next SPF and whether that will be agreed, they're going to leave that to obviously the other side of the spending review is what they're saying. So again, I'm assuming all members have had a copy of the exchanges between WLGA and UK government that I initiated. So again, if they haven't, if we could circulate those, please, so that members have them, so they're cited on them. But yeah, thank you again, Paul, for the work that you and others have been doing on the fund. As you said, we were given a very difficult challenge in that the start was delayed primarily through UK government's inaction in terms of providing us with the relevant criteria and information that were required to kick it off. But I think the work that's been done locally to try and make sure that money is deployed is to be welcomed and congratulated in terms of where we are. So just some comments from me to begin, and I'll open it up for others if there's anybody got any comments or questions for Paul or for Jason. No, everybody happy then? I think we're going to be quite a short meeting today then, by the look of it. So that was our only substantive item today. Paul, thank you again.
Chair, could I just add perhaps one comment? I know discussions are ramping up perhaps around the OECD work that Welsh Government have been leading over the past year or so. And we have been selected in South West Wales as a case study evaluation area, for example, by UK government's evaluators. The model that we've deployed based on how many years now, 15 plus years of regional working, the thing of regionally planned, locally delivered, and where the resource sits and who does the doing has been coming out in discussions. It might be something for members to be considering about the way the program's been operationalised and what we've been able to achieve when we've been given the trust to deploy this sum of money. And at local level, everyone will be familiar with the work that's going on, but it might be something to have a think about in the context of that work. Just a pointer, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. And I think we've got a very good story to tell there, as you alluded to. Okay, with that then, thank you very much. That one, I believe, was for noting, is it? Or are we, yeah, just for noting that one. Okay. So thank you very much for the update. And then it was just really any urgent items or any other business. I've not been notified as any, but I will be happy to take any if there are any additional items for today. If not, can I thank you all very much for your attendance. Look forward to seeing you at the next meeting, and I declare the meeting closed. Thank you very much.
You want to tell me about that?
Thanks, Rob. Thanks all.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.